Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today, talking about February 17th edition of WWE Monday Night Raw, where we're going to be seeing Randy Orton going up against Matt Hardy in a no disqualification, beat the holy hell out of the other guy match. Kind of surprising because after last week's edition of Monday Night Raw, many people were thinking that was going to be the last time we were ever going to see Matt Hardy. When Randy Orton left Matt Hardy with the concerto in the ring, the same concerto that knocked out Edge, and we have not seen him since the Raw after the Royal Rumble. Matt Hardy is going to be coming back, and so many people said that last week was his last time being on screen in WWE. Now I'm thinking that most people are going to be stamping this as the guaranteed last time we were going to be seeing Matt Hardy in a WWE ring. Hats off to Matt. The last run here in WWE, he had the big return with the Hardys. I'm sure they won the championship. Other than him winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on the pre-show of WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, here we are 3 years later, and I don't know. He had that feud where he brought back the TNA version of Matt Hardy, the one everybody wanted to see. WWE really didn't seem like they wanted to push it to the point that TNA did. So it didn't really have the same appeal. Him and Bray had the match at his compound or his house, whatever you want to say, sort of copying what TNA did to find some success. That was the only time they really ran that gimmick, so I'm guessing that they didn't really think it really paid off. But I don't know. Maybe they just didn't give Matt Hardy the freedom to push that character the way that Jeremy Borash and the people over at TNA did. So hats off to him to coming back. I don't really see him as a guy that... I'm sure that WWE is offering him a deal to keep him in the company. They don't want anybody leaving. But if Matt Hardy really is going to be wrestling his last days in wrestling, I think that he wants it to be something believable. He wants it to be something that he can get behind, and he doesn't want to just be sort of kept off television, wrestling house show matches, and being away from his family, when the guy probably has enough money as it is right now that he could just walk away and never have to work another day in his life. And have enough for him and his family to live on and have a happy life with him and Rebby. But, of course, this match is about getting Randy Orton over. I think it's too early to be looking at Randy killing Matt to the point where Edge makes his return to save him. I think this is just a way to sort of keep the buffer alive where we're still thinking about Edge. We all know he's coming back. We all know that the upcoming WrestleMania is going to be Orton versus Edge. That's the match that everybody wants to see. More than likely, the Edge return won't be until after the Super Showdown, so that way, truly, the true focus can be about Edge hunting down Randy. Hopefully, it's a lot like when Randy was hunting CM Punk before WrestleMania 27. And I know that Randy doesn't have minions like Punk did with the Nexus, and Orton was taking him off one by one to make the WrestleMania match a truly one-on-one affair instead of having to go out there and try and fight the Nexus just by himself. But each and every week he'd hit the RKO, and then we'd never see one of the members again. So I'm guessing that more than likely we might see Matt get a little bit of offense in here, but I don't see them really letting Matt get a whole bunch in because of the fact that he is going to be probably showing up on BTE heading to AEW within the next month. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. I guess there is a chance that he could go to somewhere like Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor is looking for some sort of new stars. I don't think they want to be hanging on to just stars of the past, but they need something, and they need something in a hurry. Because as far as being left behind in the number 3 spot, in Wrestling in America, maybe even debatable number 4 if you count New Japan Pro Wrestling fans, they're fading fast and they got to figure something out. And Matt had a really successful run there. I know it makes a lot of sense for him to go to AEW, but if he doesn't have Jeff with him, you can't really use him in tag matches. But then again, I guess if you let the Matt Hardy gimmick run, him getting to do the whole ooh gimmick, I guess it could make sense as a singles guy, and he could be always sort of teasing that Jeff is coming. And because of the fact that we don't really know what the contract status is with Jeff. Jeff's deal could be ending. We haven't seen him in a long time, and he might be disappearing just because of the fact that he's not on television. We don't really notice it, and he just shows up on AEW out of the blue, and boom, now you've got the Young Bucks against the Hardys on mainstream television AEW, and that's a really big push for them. If you can remember in the dying days, I know they're still alive, but the dying days of Impact, they really survived off of tag team matches that were built up on the Dudleys, the Hardys, and the American Wolves over who was the best one. They would all have they would all have tag team matches against each other. Then they all had, three-way matches against each other. And then that kind of was the big push when they were on Pop TV. So, that's probably one of the last memorable things I can remember that company doing. So here's the Matt Hardy. Hopefully the match is really good. Of course, bet 100% of the money on Randy Orton, and count down until we see Matt Hardy on BTE.